Hello and welcome back to the channel. And whether this is your first visit, you're a long-standing subscriber, or just newly joined, I just wanted to say hello and welcome. And thank you for your interest in the channel and for your contributions through the messages. It's always good to hear from you. I thought today I'd begin with a quick fleet update. And then I'm going to go on and let you know what you can possibly expect to see in future videos. Of course, none of it's set in stone. Things change. And if there's anything that particularly you would like to see, then drop me a comment. I can't say I'll necessarily be able to oblige, but if there's anything I can do to try and tailor something that suits what you want, then I'll try and do that. All right, so we'll start with a quick fleet update. I say quick, if you recall the two Ronnies, when Ronnie Corbett used to sit in the chair and tell a joke and he used to digress a little. We may digress a little. I'll try not to, but quick fleet update. Right, September. It's been a busy month again. When isn't it? We've had 2 cars out for their MOTs, and as Brian Hanrahan once said, I counted them out and I counted them back in again. Is it really 42 years since he said that? Where's the time gone, eh? Anyway, so on the 18th of September, I took the Rover V8 Tourer for its MOT. Pleased to report that that passed with flying colours, no issues. And no matter how good a car is, you just never know when it puts it in the hands of an MOT tester what they're going to find here. But I'm pleased to say all is well and no issues at all. Now, the XJS, unfortunately, it failed its MOT. But the good news is it was only minor. It was just wear and tear. It was an anti-roll bar linkage. And so all I needed to do was get in touch with SNG Barrett, not associated with SNG Barrett in any way, shape or form, other than that's where I bought the parts incidentally. But I found their service to be very good. I ordered the part on the Friday, and by the Monday morning, the parts were delivered and with me, and I was able to get the car back into the garage and get it through its MOT. So the linkage, all the bushes, washers, etc., came to a grand total of £36. The labour, £42 with the VAT. So all in, for £78, the car went through its MOT. So can't really complain at that. And I think I got off fairly lightly, really. Right, what else? Well, they're both back, as I say, at home, all tucked up now. I'm not going to be taking them anywhere else this year. The weather's closing in, and I think that I certainly don't want to take them out in bad weather. Interestingly, I couldn't help but take a video of the XJS on the drive. It fascinated me, really. Yeah, I think next month maybe I'll put a video up of maybe me painting a panel of wood and you can just watch the paint dry. But yeah, it fascinated me because I had to move the cars around to take them for their MOT. And when I got the XJS out, I was absolutely amazed. It was 7:20 in the morning when I got the car out. And it was a lovely morning. And it wasn't at all feeling cold. It was like an early summer's morning, actually. It was quite pleasant. So I got the car started, and I hadn't had it running for very long at all. We're talking a matter of a minute, if that. And I couldn't believe the amount of steam coming out of the exhaust, the heat. But these XJS, they do generate some heat. They really do. And incidentally, I don't know whether you know, but in Japan, they had an extra warning light fitted in the dashboard, and it was for the exhaust temperature. Now, when I bought the car and I took it over to my cousin to see it at Pontefract, about a distance of 90 miles, and that was about the first thing he commented on. He couldn't believe how much heat was coming out the back of the car. So as I say, yeah, boy, they do generate some heat. The Rover Sterling that I introduced to you recently, so there'll be a bit more information coming on that one shortly. Bit of a dilemma with this one. as I said, it's a car that I've owned for 26 years, and I love the car to bits, but I really don't know what to do with it. It's got to a point where I say, do I spend a lot of money on it, or do I get rid? The problem is, it's ridiculous. I mean, sentimentality with a car, you know, I know it seems daft to a lot of people, but they become a bit like a member of the family after you've had them so long. And it's the memories that you associate with them as well. And as I said, I've had the car 26 years, and it's been a fantastic car, it really has. And it's one of those cars that I don't want to scrap it. I don't really want to sell it. But can I face spending as much money on it as I think it probably needs to justify how I would like it to be now? Because I would never see the money back again on it. And it's a real dilemma what to do with it, because I just don't want it to just sit and just and rot. So I have a bit of thinking to do on that one, serious thinking. So we shall see. We shall see. Right, moving on. I think that's pretty much it as regards to where we're at with the fleet. And I'm going to tell you a bit more what you can expect to possibly see. Well, I've got lots of different things in mind, but it's more a question of whether or not you want to see them. Now, I do lots of car show reviews, and I've still got quite a few of them to come. I'm a bit behind on those. So they are still going to keep coming. And in addition, I've got certain museum visits that I've made, which have car-related bits and pieces in them. I hope to do some special features with certain cars. And I hope to do some more specials, such as I did with the Sweeney and the Italian job. I'm also considering doing videos where I'm going to look back, where I recollect on certain periods in time. And there's going to be car elements in that as well as other things. I'd like to properly introduce my MG Montego Turbo to you, that I recently provided a sneak preview of. And I hope to do some more videos on the Rover V8 Tourer, which are long overdue. I intended to do these videos a long time ago, and I got sidetracked with doing the car shows because they take up so much time. So the videos I hope to produce on that are going to tell you about how I came to buy the V8 Tourer. And another video is going to be about its history. I'm going to tell you more about its history, because this one's a little bit special, or it is to me anyway. But I'll reveal all later on that. And you know, I went out when I had the car out for its MOT on the 18th of September. And I took it out, found a location. I thought, I'll do some filming here and I'll do the video. Only I had to contend with quite a strong wind. And wherever I seemed to be able to go, I was blighted by the elements. And so it wasn't possible. And then the battery ran out of power. So I had to call it a day. So it may just be that I'm going to sit at the front of the car and I'll tell you all about it. I'll maybe have to get my Valdoornican chair out. Who's Valdoornican, you might cry. Yeah, well, you're better off not knowing. I've got car brochures and magazines that we can review. I've also got a lot of my childhood toy cars that I still have. And I'm also considering doing some videos on them if they're of interest to people. I know they're of interest to some people, and so I think I'm going to do that anyway. But some of them may have a slight twist to them. So it may not just be showing you the car. There might be a little bit more to it. But we'll see how things go anyway. What else? Well, I think for the moment, that's pretty much about it. That said, of course, there may be something that just crops up that takes my fancy and I think, do you know, I'd like to share that with people. Or I'm going to make a video about that and I'll do it. So what I would be interested to know is how you feel. is there anything that you would particularly like to see? Anything that particularly interests you? And I'm not saying I'm going to be able to oblige, but where at all possible, I will see what I can do. Because I would rather make videos that people are interested in seeing than making a video that nobody wants to watch, apart from me, and that's all right. And I don't know whether this is of any interest to you, but I have a couple of YouTube recommendations, things that I've seen over the last week which have interested me. Whether or not you want to take a look or not, that's entirely up to you. But I'll leave a link in the description box, and you can decide if any of them interest you. One of the first things I saw was a video by a gentleman called Magnus Walker. It's entitled The Junkyard, 3 Lamborghini Miuras. Quite a fascinating video, to me anyway. It centres around a South Los Angeles scrapyard, and it's called the Rudy Klein Car Collection. Apparently it was a German car collector living in the States, and during the 80s and prior to that, he'd amassed quite a collection of scrap vehicles. A lot of them were accident damaged vehicles, vehicles for repair, and one assumes that they were pretty much not important at that time and quite cheap. And it's turned out that today the cars themselves are quite valuable. A big collection of German vehicles, particularly things like Mercedes 600 Pullmans, all means of Porsche. They've got a Maybach, and interestingly, amongst the collection, there's 3 Lamborghini Miuras. Rare at any time, but wow. And this is all coming up for sale with RM Sotheby's on the 26th of October. But yeah, I found it quite an interesting and fascinating video. So as I say, I'll leave a link in the description box, and you can decide whether you want to look at it or not. It's entirely up to you. Linking in with the German cars, and if they're of interest to you, then I can recommend BFD Drives. And this is a channel which features lots of German classics, Mercedes, Porsche, VW, Opel, etc. And equally interesting is the Eastern European vehicles. Since the Berlin Wall came down, you're going to get to see lots of Eastern European vehicles such as the Wartburgs, Trabants, interesting motorbikes, and that's well worth checking out. And the gentleman's also recently just visited the Technik Museum at Speyer. So far, 2 videos produced, and that, what a fascinating and interesting museum. So well worth taking a look at that as well if it interests you. All right, next choice, a musical selection. Some things you would think would never work, and you'd think, no, there's no way that's going to sound good. But you can be surprised, as I was with a group called the Heimerdamisch. I think they're a Bavarian band. And to look at them, they're dressed in like traditional lederhosen, and the ladies dressed in the traditional regalia. And it's a bit like a German Umpar band come Guga type style music. What's the song that they've chosen to play? Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. And it's absolutely brilliant. I didn't think it was going to work, but I had to take a listen to it. And I think it's fantastic. And looking at the other selections, they have various other heavy metal ones and various other different ones. Well worth checking out. Sometimes, as I say, the most unlikeliest combination can surprise you, as this one did. So I'll leave a link in the description box for that one. The next video that I found quite interesting was Atlas Survival Shelters, and it's a detailed tour of a $30 million bunker, nuclear bunker. It was originally a missile silo, and now in private hands, and it's been turned into separate units. And they show you around this bunker, and it's quite fascinating. So once again, a link will be in the description box for you. So I'm going to sign off for now, and I'm just going to say thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care.